Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Katie. Today we are doing part 2 in the letter D in the A to Z makeup series. So I'll put a card up for part 1 if you are interested. But we have even more products to try today. I will have to repeat a couple of products from part 1. But mostly we have new stuff to try today, which I'm excited about. You've probably gathered the whole concept of the video is I just do a full face of makeup using brands that begin with the letter D. In this video I've got, I used quite a lot of Dermacol stuff in the first video. I do have a couple more from that. I have a Dior foundation. I have quite a few Dalla Palma products, which I'm quite excited to try. A couple from the brand Delilah. And some just other random bits and bobs. So let's just get into this. I don't have any new concealers because I only got 2 which I tried in the first video, which was the Dermacolor Camouflage Cream, which I have lost the lid for already, which is not ideal. And then there was the Delilah Perfect Matte Concealer. I'm going to use the Dermacolor one just as an eyeshadow base because I need something for that. Yeah, obviously I've tried both of these concealers already, but I will have to use them in this video because I don't have any other D concealers. So I'm just gonna paint some of this on the eyeballs as an eye base. I did like this concealer. I do find the texture's like a little bit dry, but it does have pretty good coverage. So I like it. Don't love it, but I like it. It does the job. So for eyeshadow, in part 1 we used this palette from Dollface, which is the Doll Squad 24 shade eyeshadow wardrobe. So I will probably have to go back to this palette a bit today just for some matte shades. But I did also get another palette which I said I'd use in this video from Dollface, which is the Pretty Little Gems 9 shade face and eye palette, which is an all shimmer palette. So I'm definitely going to use some of these shimmers today, and I think I will use this as a highlighter later in the video. I did also get this single eyeshadow from Dalla Palma that I said I'd use, but I think I'm just going to use this in my inner corner later in the video just because I've got so many shimmers in here that I kind of want on my eyeballs. So I'm just going to go off camera and do one eye because I really have no idea what I want to do. But I will be back and I will show you what I do on the other eye. Okay, so I went quite purple in the first video and I've sort of accidentally gone quite purple again. I've gone for a sort of gold purple halo eye type thing. I think because most of the mattes in this palette are quite cool toned and purple, it just sort of kind of ended up that way. So I started with this purple matte, which I did use in the first video. So sorry if I'm being a little bit repetitive, but I don't know, this is just kind of how it went. And as you can imagine, this is just going in the crease area. I'm doing a lot of blending with this. Then I used the darker purple toned shade, and that's going underneath and trying to do it in sort of a halo eye kind of layout. I am just going to tap a teeny tiny bit of black, just a little bit, just on each side of the halo eye. I only put a really small amount. And I'm going to take this white shade here just to blend out under the brow bone. And I'm going back to the Dermacolor concealer. And we're doing a little halo eye situation. And now switching to this palette, I'm using a mix of my finger and a brush, and I'm using this like coppery gold shade, which is really pretty. Definitely am excited to try the other shimmers in this palette. Like I want to try the greeny blues, but obviously I've only got 2 eyeballs, so I can't do that all in one video. But this is really pretty. And then I'm using the purple one here, which is also pretty, just on each side. Just going back to our matte shades and doing some blending. And I'm just going to clean up the edge. Okay, that will do. Again, it's not a particularly creative eye look, but just a bit of fun with those shimmers, which I do think are really pretty, especially the gold one. The purple one was nice too, but the gold one is definitely very pretty. I definitely want to do like a bluey green look with this palette. Obviously I can't do that in this video, but if I do one, I will put a picture on the screen of what I make. But yeah, I definitely want to use the greens and the blues. And I'm probably going to try this out as a highlighter later in the video. I do have a new eyeliner to try out. This is a brown one. I think it should work okay with the colours. So this is from Dalla Palma, and it's their Stay On Me eyeliner in Matita Ochi. I don't know if I said that right. But it is a brown eyeliner. Looks like this. That's what the tip looks like. I love the colour. I'm just going to whack this in my top and bottom waterlines. It looks like it's going to be really creamy. Okay, I like the eyeliner, I like the colour, definitely up my street. Yeah, it's applied pretty nicely, pretty creamy. Got nothing to complain about. I definitely want to use this like on the lash line and like smoke it out and see how that works, but I had to do that another day. But no complaints. Okay, so we have another Dalla Palma thing. This is the My Toy Boy mascara, and it's absolutely huge, and I think we all know what they were going for with this. That just seems to be a trend nowadays with makeup. I really don't have any strong feelings either way about that, to be honest. I have heard good things about this mascara despite the very like kind of obnoxious packaging. That's what the wand looks like. So I was curious, I wanted to try it, so that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. Okay, what do we think of those lashes? I think it's given some pretty decent volume. I'm quite liking how they're looking. There's like thickness, there's length. Yeah, I like it. Do I think that there are more affordable mascaras that do just as good a job? Yes, absolutely. But I am pretty impressed. I think it's made my lashes look pretty good. I'm happy with that. I think I've made it a little bit clumpy on this side. I think that's more me than the mascara. Yeah, I like that mascara. It's pretty good. And like I said, there are definitely like cheaper mascaras that I feel like do just as good a job, but maybe because of the large packaging there's like more product in it, so it might last longer, which I guess maybe makes it slightly more worth the price, I don't know. But I'm not disappointed, it's done a pretty good job with my lashes. Okay, so we're going to move on to the face now, and my face really needs some help because that time of the month has hit me like crazy, and it's created a war zone on my face. I have so many spots and it is very upsetting. We did try this primer in the first video. It's the only D primer I have. It's a Dermacol Rose Energy Makeup Base, but I'm not going to use this just because, I don't know, I have a feeling it might interfere with the foundation because it's got that kind of texture. And I want to create the best conditions for this guy. So we've got the Dior Forever 24-hour foundation. I think this might be called the matte foundation on some websites, I'm not sure. This one's in the shade 0N. And obviously this was quite expensive, it was over 30 quid I think. But of all the Dior foundations, it looked like the one that I thought I'd get along with the most. They do obviously have quite a few foundations, but I'm excited to give this a try. I think I swatched it and I think the colour seemed pretty good actually. Let me just look, a decent colour match. Might even be a bit too pale, I'm not sure. Let's just go ahead and apply this. Okay, what do we think? So this is what the foundation looks like. I've sort of built up a second layer a bit, but I haven't put too much product on. I think it actually looks really nice, the finish I feel like looks really quite stunning actually. It's definitely like a sort of soft matte kind of finish, but it doesn't feel dry at all, which is perfect for me, that's what I like. It's got pretty good coverage. It's not like a full coverage foundation, but that's okay. I wasn't like expecting it to be. I'm more into medium coverage now, even when I am breaking out like crazy like I am. I do still think I prefer like a medium buildable coverage now anyway. It looks really lovely in the skin. It's just got a really nice finish to it, but it doesn't like feel heavy or look heavy at all. I'm pretty impressed with that. I think that looks really nice. It definitely was still an ungodly amount of money, don't get me wrong, but it's nice to treat yourself to things every now and then, isn't it? Yeah, I think that foundation looks really quite nice actually, and I think the colour's pretty good too. Like, I feel like it goes on a little bit pale, but I do feel like as you blend it in, it sort of kind of adapts to the skin tone. Well, for me it has anyway. I think it does have a pretty decent shade selection, so that is good. Yeah, I have to say I'm not disappointed. I am actually quite enjoying how that looks. I am going out tomorrow, so I'm definitely going to try that one because I want to see if it wears well too. Like I said earlier, I don't have any new concealer, so I am just going to have to stick to Dermacolour and a little bit of this guy, which I'm still not sure about this guy. It's not my favourite, but it's all we've got, so I'm using the Dermacolour one just under the eyes because it is more of a brightening shade. I'm switching to this guy because it's a little bit darker than the rest of my face, but I still don't... It's just got weird texture. I just can't make my mind up about this. Okay, so for setting powder, I did buy one from Delilah, which is their Pure Touch Micro Fine Loose Powder, but I'm not going to use it today just because it looks really orange, and like, just look at that. I just feel like that is not going to work on my skin tone, and I'm quite sad about that because it was an expensive powder. And I still haven't tried it yet. I will give it a try just in my own time, just to see, but I just can't imagine that this isn't going to turn my face orange. I just think it's unlikely. I do have another loose powder. This is another Dermacolour product. This is the Camouflage System Fixing Powder. And this one definitely looks paler. It's the shade P2. It does look like it should work. I'm hoping it will brighten. I feel like it looks like it should brighten. So I'm just going to tap some of that out. I do have a different pressed powder to use in the rest of the face. I just want to use this under the eyes. Okay, so yeah, I'm just going to tap some of this in with my powder sponge just to set the under eyes, but the shade does look pretty fair, like it should brighten, at least I hope so. Okay, it's definitely a brightening shade, which is good. That's what I wanted. Not really got any complaints about it. It's definitely a good colour. Texture seems alright. Not got really any complaints about it as of now. It's done a pretty good job. I do actually have 2 more powder foundations. These are both from Dermacol. So I've got the compact powder, which looks like this. It's the number 1 shade. It has a sort of like indentation in it, which is probably not going to last very long. The shade looks good in the pan. We'll see what it's like on the face. And then I also got this Dermacol Wet n Dry powder foundation, which is also in the shade 1. And that one looks like this. Also got a little funky indentation in it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try one on one half of my face and one on the other, because the colours do look pretty similar. But if they do come out completely different, then I'll just go over the other side with the other one. But I do want to test both of these. So I'm going to start with the compact powder. And I'm going to set this half of my face. Okay, it's definitely set my face. The colour is definitely darker than the loose powder, but it seems to be okay. Doesn't seem majorly dark or anything. I'm going to switch to this side and see if it looks any different. I feel like it's going to just be really similar. Okay, the colour of this one definitely comes out a little bit darker, like it's bordering on a little bit orangey. I think it would depend like what foundation and concealer I'm using under it. This one definitely is paler, but I prefer the colour of this side. The texture's like a little bit more, like, I feel like this one picks up a lot of product, like as you can see there's a lot of mess coming off, whereas the other one's a little bit more like compact, like a bit harder pressed. But I feel like finish wise, I feel like they've both done a pretty similar job. They're decent powders. I think I just prefer the colour of this one a little bit more. I am going to go back to that one actually and just sort of add a bit more on this side just to see if it slightly lightens it. So to move on to cheeks, I did originally buy this palette. This is another doll face thing. It's the Glow Baby Glow Illuminating Highlighter Trio. I don't know why in my head I thought that this could maybe work as like a blush, bronzer, highlight palette, but I feel like the these 2 shades, which I thought maybe I could use as blush and bronzer, are a bit too shimmery. I feel like they could like be like blush toppers or bronzer toppers. So I am gonna have to go back to this little palette here, and I'm gonna use this one, which is the same one I used in the video, which I don't actually mind this. It's quite a chiseling bronzer, probably a little bit deeper than what I'd usually go for, but it does work with blending. So I'm gonna use that one again, and I might try and top a bit of the bronzy highlighter over it. We'll see if that works. I don't know how well this is going to work, but I am going to tap a bit of this middle shade over those bronzy spots. Guess it kind of worked. Added a little bit more glow to my cheeks, I guess. Okay, and I said in the last video I'd use this blusher. This is the Dermacol, I don't know. This is the Dermacol Natural Powder Blush. It's the 01 shade. Looks like a little pretty shade. I'm gonna whack this on my cheeks. So I'm just gonna apply some of this to my cheeks and my nose a bit. It does seem quite hard pressed. No, that's okay, pigment's coming off. Yeah, I like that. It's quite a natural, buildable blush. I say that like I haven't put too much on. I like the tone of it. Yeah, I like that. No complaints. And I'm also going to try this as like a blush topper to make it a bit more shimmery. We'll see if that works. yeah, did a similar thing, just sort of a glowy blush effect. I definitely got too much on. So obviously this palette does have the shade which I think would work as a highlighter on me, but then I do also have that one from that eyeshadow palette, so I'm going to try both out. I'm just going to try one on one side of my face, one on the other, and we'll see which one I like the best. So yeah, I'll start with this one, so just using the shade at the top here, which is like a pale pink toned highlighter. It's quite natural, it's not insanely pigmented, but it definitely has left a nice shimmer. Okay, I'm gonna try this one in this palette now, on the other side. Okay, this one's definitely a bit more pigmented. I think I like the texture of this one better, because it's a bit softer, and like it doesn't emphasize texture as much, whereas this one does a little bit, but this one's definitely got more pigment. But because the sides come out a bit stronger, I think I'm just gonna stick with this one and layer that up everywhere else. Okay, so moving on to eyebrows now. I have two products from Delilah. So I've got the Brow Shape Defining Brow Gel, and I've also got the Brow Line Retractable Eyebrow Pencil. This one's in Sable 1002. What shade's the brow gel in? The brow gel is also the shade Sable 1902. So obviously these are quite expensive, so I'm expecting good things from them. So that's what the brush looks like on the brow gel. It definitely is picking up a bit of excess. The colour is also quite dark. I was expecting it to be a little bit lighter. Yeah, it has got quite a bit of excess on. But I've tapped that off and I'm gonna brush this through. Yeah, the colour's not bad, but it's like a little bit... I think the undertone's fine. It's just the colours maybe... I don't know actually. I think it's okay. I mean, it's done an okay job. Honestly, I'm a bit disappointed just because it was so expensive. I feel like I have like cheaper eyebrow gels that do better than that. The colour is actually okay. It's just there's quite a bit of excess on it, and like that took like quite like a lot of precision. Like it wasn't very like easy to apply. Like they have turned out alright. But I don't know. I'm not sure about that. Don't think it was worth the money, to be honest. I'm gonna try the pencil out. I'm just gonna like structure the brows a bit more with this. Okay, I've not really got any complaints about the pencil. I quite like it. It's got quite a nice texture. It's quite natural. I definitely want to try that out on its own, like without the gel. So the pencil was good. The gel's okay. It's not awful or anything, but I don't know. I kind of wish I hadn't brought it because it was a lot of money, and like the cheaper stuff that's just as good, if not better. I'm going to try out this Dalla Palma single eyeshadow I brought, which is the sparkling beige shade, and I want to put this in my inner corners, in my eyeballs. Yeah, that's cute. And I'm going to be very predictable and just use those two purple matte shades I used earlier on the lower lash line. Okay, we're going to go back to this guy and put some on the bottom lashes. Okay, lastly I have a lipstick. This is from Delilah. This is the Everlasting Love matte lipstick in the shade 301 Happy, and it's sort of like a rosy nude. Again, this was really cheap, so if it's not very good, I'm not going to be super disappointed. But I'll give it a go. I'm having some really dry, like the corners of my lips are like in pain. Like they're just nasty and crusty and I don't know what's going on. So we'll see. I do like the colour. It's definitely very sheer and very creamy, so it's definitely not matte. That's definitely the wrong name. I like the colour, but it's not super opaque. It feels more like a lip balm, really, if anything. Yeah, that's not great, but I'm not gonna lose sleep over it because it was like about £2 or £3. Not like a matte pigmented lipstick. I'm gonna put a bit of the Dermagol gloss from the first video on. Well, there we go, that's everything. So I'm just gonna do what I usually do. Sort my hair out, get this mascara off my eyeballs, that shouldn't be there, and we'll be back. Okay, we are back with the finished look, full face of D makeup products. Just to go through all the new stuff we tried today, I think my favourite things are definitely this Dior foundation. I'm going to try this again tomorrow when I go out. I can't wait. I just think it had a lovely finish. Coverage was what I wanted. I don't know how it's going to wear. I'll have to wait and see for that one, but I really liked it from first use. I did really like this little shimmer eyeshadow palette from Dollface. That like goldy bronzy shade in particular was beautiful. And I want to do something with the blues and the greens in this. This mascara actually, like, I really like it. Like, my lashes do look really good actually. Yeah, okay, it's a good mascara. Like, it's a little bit expensive, but I'm hoping because it's so freaking massive that it will last longer maybe than your average mascara. At least that's what I hope. But I have to say I'm actually really liking the eyelashes. Yeah, they're good. I did also like this brown eyeliner. Again, I do want to play around with this some more, but it looked good in the waterline. I liked the Delilah brow pencil. The brow gel was okay. I don't know, I'm just a little bit disappointed with the Delilah brand altogether, just because the setting powder is orange. The brow gel just really isn't that good considering how expensive it is. But my favourite thing is definitely the brow pencil from them. Quite liked the Derma Colour loose powder. I think that did a good job. The two pressed powders I think did a decent job too. I do just think this colour of this wet and dry powder foundation does come off a little bit orangey on me, but the other one I thought was alright. So yeah, and I do not like this lipstick. It just wasn't good. It just wasn't anything that it said it was. So, and this little highlighting palette, I don't know. I'm not sure. I think like the ones I used to like top over my blush and bronzer, like it worked, but you know, that's sort of like an optional thing. It's not really like a makeup essential thing you need to do. And the highlighter, I don't feel like the highlighter showed up super well. I'll try it with like a different base. I don't know if maybe like the powders or something maybe affected how it showed up. I don't know. So unsure about this. But I think that's all I gotta say about D makeup products. I've definitely tried some good stuff here, some not so good stuff. It's been an array of different experiences. But overall I'm pretty happy with how this makeup look turned out. Like, I think it looks pretty cute. Like, I'd definitely go out with this makeup. I'm not going to. I'm going to order takeaway and lie in bed. I would go out in this makeup. That's all I gotta say for this video. So obviously next we'll be on to E, which I'm excited for because there's been a load of e.l.f. products that I really want to try. So that will be the next edition in the series, but thank you for watching this video and I will see you in my next one. Goodbye.